Alright, so we already read this one before on the last video. So it tells us it's $25 per hour to rent, and then it gives us the sample point for 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. It was 226.50, which means we're going to use point slope formula because they give us a rate of change of 25 and a sample point. So I'm going to write down our slope, which is the m equals 25 because it was $25 per hour. And then our sample point, remember you need to do an x and y value. Our x value is going to be the time, which is 11 a.m. to 6:30. Now I'm not going to write a range, so I need to write how much time that was. So 11 a.m. to 12 so would be 1 hour, and then 12 to 6:30 would be another 6.5. So that's a total of 7.5 hours. So I'm going to put 7.5 comma, and then we're going to go ahead and put the 226.50. So 226.5 or 0.50, however you want to write it. So now I can write that in my y minus y1. So y minus 226.50, whoops, 226.50 equals my slope of 25 times x minus my x value of 7.5. Okay, and yes, these numbers don't look beautiful. It is what it is. You know, you're going to have to deal with that sometimes. You won't get super easy, simple numbers. But our next step now is going to be going ahead and distributing this 25. So I'm going to take this 25, multiply it here and here. So that gives us 25x. Make sure that looks like a 2. And then 25 times negative 7.5 is negative 187.5. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring down this y minus 226.50. Okay, then my last step is to just get rid of that 226.50. So we're going to go ahead and add 226.50 to each side. And then plus 226.50. Okay, so that cancels out. We get y equals 25x. Now, in this case, so now we have 226.50. So we got 226.50 minus the 187.50, which leaves us with $39. So we got plus 39. So that would be your equation. Okay. Now, the question now says, though, if they rented it from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., how much would they pay? So now you're going to use the equation that you wrote, and you're going to plug in the amount of time that they just provided to you. So we use this equation, y equals 25x, but now instead of x, now we're going to plug in that time. So from 8 to 1, that would be 8 to 12 would be 4 hours, and then one more hour would be 5. So we've got times 5 hours plus 39. Okay. So first we would do 25 times 5, which equals 125. And then we just add that 39. So then we have 125 plus 39, which ends up equaling plus 39 is 164. So that's how much it would cost, $164. Okay. All right, number 2. Clint is in study hall reading The Hunger Games. After 20 minutes, he's on page 151. After 45 minutes, he's on page 181. How many pages had Clint read prior to study hall? So this is an example of a question where they give you 2 sample points. They don't give you a rate or anything, so they give you 2 sample points. So we're still going to do the point slope formula, but now we have to solve for our slope, right? So we're going to go ahead and write down our 2 points. So we've got 1 point is the 20 minutes for 151. And the other point is 45 minutes for 181. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is plug that into my slope formula. So we got 181 minus 151 on top. And then our x values on the bottom, 45 minus 20 equals. So that 181 minus 151, so that's 30 over, and then 45 minus 20 is 25. So if I divide those both by 5, I just get 6 over 5. So that would be our slope. Okay. So our slope is 6/5. Okay, so we're going to plug this now into our point slope formula, because essentially what they're asking for is how much you read prior to study hall, which would be your B. That's your starting point. So we need to get our equation, and then B is going to be our answer. So y minus our y value, you can pick whichever point you want. I'm just going to go with the smaller numbers, minus 151, equals m, which is 6/5, that's what we just saw for, times x minus our x value, which is 20. Okay, so now we just need to distribute the 6/5 to each of these. So left side stays the same, y minus 151 equals, so now we got 6/5 x minus, and then 6 times 20 is 120. Okay, 120 divided by 5 would be 100, or no, not 104. Sorry, I'm trying to think. 24. Yeah. So negative 24. Okay, and again, if you're not sure, you can always just plug that in. 120 divided by 5 is definitely 24. Okay, now my last step would be going ahead and getting rid of that 151. So we're going to add 151 on each side. So y equals 6/5 x. And then we got negative 24 and positive 151, so that leaves us with 127. Okay, so that's your equation, but that obviously shows you that prior to, because again, if you plugged in a 0, right, if there was 0 minutes passed, he would already be at 127. So the answer to the question they're asking here, how many did you read prior, would be that 127. Okay, so the answer is 127 pages. Sorry, again, I know that this doesn't write very well. Kind of just got to deal with that. All right, scroll down here, our final question. So this says Elena is selling wreaths and poinsettias for her chorus or fundraiser. Wreaths cost $27 each and poinsettias cost $20 each. If she sold 15 poinsettias and made $5.43, how many wreaths did she sell? Okay, so this one, okay, would be, if you remember in our notes, right? So we went through all the different types of like word problems and stuff. So this one would actually be an example where you are going to be relating two different objects, right? Wreaths and poinsettias. So on this one, you're actually going to have to use standard form, right? So we know that we have the two items, right? So I'm going to go ahead and label those. So for x, I'm going to do my x value is going to be my wreaths. And again, it doesn't necessarily matter which one you label x and y, but you just need to make sure you identify them. Okay, and my y value is going to be poinsettias. Yeah. All right, so, and now we can write our equation. So we've got standard form, remember, is the whole ax plus by equals c. So we've got $27 for each of our wreaths. So we're going to put 27x plus $20 for each poinsettia. So 20 times y equals, and then that would be your c, which in this case, you know, we have we're just going to put C for now, right? Because we're just going to make an equation. But now it's saying she sold 15 poinsettias and made 543. So now we can replace two things, right? This 15 poinsettias is going to replace Y. This 543 is going to replace my cost, or my price, essentially, the total. So now when we rewrite this, we've got 27x plus 20. Oh, I hate how it does that. 20 times, we've got 15 poinsettias. So 20 times 15 equals 543. Okay, so first step, go ahead and simplify this. 20 times 15. Okay, so 20 times 15 would give you 300. So we got 27x plus 300. Man, I tell you, it does not like zeros. Plus 300 equals 543. Or 4s, apparently. 543. Okay, then I need to go ahead and move this 300 over. So minus 300 on both sides. There we go. Okay, so that gives us 27x equals, okay, 543 minus 300 would leave me with 243. Okay, then my last step would be to divide by 27 on both sides. Wow, that really does not write well. Okay, so that cancels out. Then I just need to do 243 minus divided by 27, okay, which would equal 9. So x equals 9. So basically 9 wreaths. And that's it.